Pisces, Dadhichi here. It's an important month for your relationships, given that there's a new moon that's going to take place right there in your 7th house of marriage, just after Mercury moves in there. So you've got a triple whammy there. There it is. Mercury is the marital planet for a start for you. Then you've got this new moon, which is ruling your 5th house. Both very, very good planets in terms of this new leaf you happen to be turning over right now as far as your relationships are concerned. This is the time when you should be communicating your feelings. Mercury is planet of open communication. You have to keep it fairly succinct and on point. Mercury has a tendency to be a little, how can I put it, a little superficial. So that may only last a day or so, because you see the moon moves into your deeper, more psychologically orientated 8th house. So don't be afraid to go deep. That's the way you're going to clear the air of any problems. You notice also here that Venus on the 9th moves into this 9th house, along with Jupiter, one of your ruling planets. And that Jupiter's been there for some time. Venus is going to actually give that an additional kick in the pants. This has to do with expanding your horizons somewhat. You may find it difficult. You've got all this really good energy in the upper part of the chart here, this desire to explore, expand, while the planet of drive and physical energy is moving into this somewhat low-key position. That takes place right on the 11th, as you can see here, 11th of September. So, whereas you may have had quite a bit of energy while it was here, as it moves into this 12th house, a lot of your work may be predominantly behind the scenes rather than up front. And you may need to just bear with that for a while. There is one really tough aspect to Mars, which has to do with the way you are communicating. And as a result of you may be feeling a little down in your energy, you may be very, very impatient with others. So it's important, as I mentioned here before, not to skip over things and to be superficial. Even if things are going to be a little tough for you and you're not going to feel comfortable discussing certain issues, it's best to do that now and get it out of the road. There's a strong link here between the 9th ruler Mars and 12th house of emigration. So travel is very strongly on the cards over the next month or two while these planets accentuate this area of your horoscope. You have that part of what I'm talking about there triggered on the 13th and 14th, then work issues on the 15th and 16th as the moon transits through this upper part of your horoscope. And then maybe a bit of a dampening effect as the moon touches on Saturn around the 18th. So 16, 17 look good. Moon is really a wonderful planet for you. It brings that emotional connectivity to what you're doing, so you want to do well. But here there may be some problems with your friends. That's a very, very slow, pardon me, ongoing process with Saturn and Pluto here. And when Moon traverses these areas every month, then you see that these two planets and what they represent will be triggered in the same way. So this could be serious discussions with friends, separation from friends, and possibly too even all-out war. Although that's not as likely now because Mars, which was there, we talked about that a few months ago, Mars has now moved out. He could just be completely exhausted from some of these friends. Are you getting the give and take that should be there as part and parcel of relationship? That's also tied in with this lingering conjunction of Mercury and Sun. That will shift on the 23rd, I believe, when, there it is, 22nd and 23rd. You've got that very, very deep probing sort of conjunction of the Mercury and the Sun in this 8th house again. And on top of that, you've got the full moon. So we talked about the new moon over here in your relationship area on the 9th. Then on the 25th, as the other end of this lunation, the full moon casting its influence back here, while the Sun and Mercury prod you to look more deeply at the intimate component of your relationships. Now this could show us too, because there's quite a few hard aspects here. This intimacy here has to do with friendships. Maybe you're getting too close to friends. Maybe you need to just pull yourself out for a while, and that could be shown by this Mars influence. Just pull back and objectively look at your friendships and your relationships. Friendships in particular, while you've got this challenging combination of planets, Mercury, Sun, Saturn, Pluto, and the full moon casting its influence here. This is the perfect time to analyze whether or not you're getting value in those friendships. There's no harm in doing that. Why waste your time? Again, there the Moon and Uranus can throw a spanner in the works in terms of your communication. But again, it's got to do with breathing deeply, stepping back, being objective, and not letting your impulses get away with you this month. Astrology.com.au, take a look at what we've written up for you for this month, a little more depth there. You've got your daily readings, oracles, free readings there, lots of them. And the remainder of 2018, what's in store for you. Find out there at the website, and I'll see you here next month.